And this is the Power Pitch. Founders get 60 seconds to pitch their company, and then our panel of experts provide insight on the business model, giving you an in-depth look at the dynamic world of entrepreneurial startups. Today, we have Niccolo Bini, CEO and president of Binishells. He's a Los Angeles-based architect with dreams of fundamentally changing how we build homes, schools, and disaster relief housing. Here is the Power Pitch.
My name is Niccolo Bini, founder and CEO of Binishells. Binishells is a next-generation construction technology company. We call it Construction 2.0. Our systems result in housing, schools, or disaster relief that have one-third the environmental impact over their lifespan, cost half as much to build, and yet are far more durable and resistant to all manner of natural disasters. So it's a triple bottom line play. From a people perspective, we have the opportunity to house the 1 out of 4 people around the world that are living in substandard shelters at half the cost. From a planet perspective, our buildings have one-third the environmental impact, so it's a huge boost environmentally. And from a profit perspective, we're introducing a far superior product into the construction industry, which after all is 10% of the world's GDP. So we feel we have a unique opportunity to provide our investors with wonderful returns and truly make a difference out there in the world.
Niccolo is on the right side of the screen, and he cannot react to our critiques, not just yet. Our panel today, Diana Olick, CNBC's real estate reporter, and John Steinberg, the president and COO of BuzzFeed. He's a former executive in residence at Polaris Ventures and was the development manager at Google's small medium business partnership team. Let's huddle up, folks. John, what's your initial reaction?
I'm real concerned about this one. It reminds me a bit about Buckminster Fuller's geodesic domes from the 60s, and you don't see many geodesic domes around right now. And I'm not sure this is the best time to go for a global home builder to deploy your product, throughout the international community.
Diana?
We talk a lot, though, about green homes, so I'm a little more optimistic about this one because green technology is in, and especially cost effectiveness. How exactly is he going to market these, especially when he's talking about developing countries and where people have substandard housing?
How does he document these reduced amounts of environmental impact?
Yeah.
I'd like to know the science behind the numbers. Niccolo, you now are in the hot seat, and we're going to ask you a few questions and get your answers. So why don't we begin with that? Diana, go ahead.
I'm wondering about the aesthetics of these homes. Do they have to look like these pods, or can you take that technology and put it into a more classic style home?
Well, in terms of the aesthetics, we're partnering with international builders around the world. We've spoken to the biggest NGOs around the world. They love what we're doing, and they're seeing huge potentials for our systems in their market.
John?
Are there large international home builders that will do this in communities in the developing world? Do you have orders that you can speak of? I mean, real numbers to let us know that this product is getting deployed?
I mean, we're early in our development. We're working within the existing building infrastructure and providing our partners around the world with ways that enable them to bring our product to their market.
Is there a way to get an advance order so that in the event of a disaster or something like that, you could deploy rapidly into a crisis area? Is that a possibility, something that you could have and bring to market?
We build faster, and we're talking about one-third the construction times using local labor and materials. So we can't, what we do is we can stockhouse our pneumoforms, which is the one element that we have to import in various areas.
Do you have actual orders, any hard numbers that you can cite? I understand that you're talking to both NGOs and some of the top 10 builders in the world, but talk is one thing. Talk is not revenue.
To be clear, we're a technology company, so we don't build. We don't take orders. What we do is we license our technologies, and that's what we're working on. Our partners then are seeing the potential for our systems in their regions, otherwise they wouldn't be speaking with us.
You heard what Niccolo had to say. John, what do you think? Are you in or are you out?
I think the product is innovative. I think it's exciting. I know Niccolo's father's worked on it since the 1960s, so I'm confident that there are the energy savings there. However, without a distribution partner in place, without hard orders, be it licensing orders in place, it's too early for me to get comfortable with it. It's too speculative. So for that reason, I'm out.
Diana, your turn.
disaster preparedness, perhaps a home that you think is not going to be destroyed by a disaster, and the third world opportunities, the developing nations. I'm going to say I think there's something out there, especially with the materials and the technology, and when he talks about the labor and the cost. So I'm going to be very cautious, but I think I'm in on this one.
A tentative in. I think that the building product industry is so traditional in its approach. It'll be very hard to break through, even though that what you're doing here is not really actually selling the products, but licensing the technology. So I am a cautious out. Nicola, you get the last word.
Keep in mind, things change. People, the construction industry has to change. Buildings are so inefficient, they're not strong enough. They have to be built faster and more affordably. And that's what we're going after, and I think there's huge opportunities out there. The construction industry has just been too stagnant for too long.
All right, Nicola, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck to you with your wonderful idea.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being with us. And thanks also to our panel, John and Diane. And that'll do it for the Power Pitch. How did I change clothes that quickly? Okay, folks, we want to hear from you. Are you in or out on Binishells? Log on to powerpitch.cnbc.com and cast your vote, and join the conversation on Twitter as well using hashtag